Palestinians are experiencing a Ramadan like no other. The Muslim month of fasting is being observed in the face of famine. Israel is restricting what food, medicine, and life-saving supplies can get into Gaza. A small amount of aid was dropped by parachute into the north, where Israel's blockade is at its worst. But it's nowhere near enough to meet the needs of people there. The number of Palestinians who have died as a result of malnutrition and dehydration has risen to 25. Instead of spending time together with family in their homes, Palestinians who have already been displaced multiple times are under constant attack. Explosions occurred in the southern city of Rafah shortly after dawn, while 16 people were killed when a home was bombed in Gaza City. And in occupied East Jerusalem, Israeli forces blocked the entrance to the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound. Some Palestinian worshippers were beaten as they tried to enter. Nader Abu Sharekh joins us. You're an Imam, sir, and you're with us live from Rafah, also in the southern part of the Gaza Strip. I wonder, what do you say to worshippers at a time like this, under these exceptional circumstances?
In the name of Allah, the Omnipotent, the Merciful, Gaza is receiving Ramadan while the entire population is cloaked in blackness. We address Muslims in every corner of the world. How can you accept to see the Gazans suffering in this holy month, the month of religious observances, where Muslims observe fasting and other rituals? We send out an outcry to the Arab and Muslim population worldwide through Al Jazeera. Can you accept this? Here in Gaza, people are forsaken, are left with nothing, with no potable water. Our fellow Gazans in the north have been besieged. They are starving to death. They are even forced to eat animals' fodder. Ramadan, the holy month of virtues, rituals, humanity, religious observances, while Muslims dedicate their time day and night for prayers and supplications. Instead, Gazans are left to fight for their life, just to survive, as the Israelis continues with their barbaric attacks. They have outperformed the German Nazis. It is a state terrorism, Israeli state terrorism. They have outperformed all other types of form of terrorism. They are wreaking destruction and killing, slaughtering our people, women and children, innocent, even babies. They are left without milk or the least basic necessities. Any person of Gaza is reeling under ruthless bombardment, shelling, and starvation. There is not a single house that is not mourning the loss of a loved ones. And above all that, we are starving to death. Instead, this is the message we are sending out to the people of the world. Gaza and the Gazans are receiving Ramadan, the holy month, with grief, sadness, starvation, and blood. The whole world has forsaken us. Imagine if this... Please stop this cascade of blood.
Sir, so many mosques across the Gaza Strip have been either damaged or entirely destroyed, as we have documented since the beginning of this conflict. Where do worshippers pray?
In this holy month of Ramadan, worshippers in every Muslim country flock to mosques to perform prayers, supplications, and offer other rituals. On every year, we used to offer prayers, including at Taraweeh evening and all night long prayers. As you documented, the Israeli occupation forces have destroyed not only our homes, but only the houses of God, mosques. 90% of all mosques in Gaza have been totally destroyed. Others are partly damaged. That's why worshippers are left with nothing but to offer prayers on the streets, on the ruins of their own mosques. Yesterday, for example, in Rafah, we offered al-Taraweeh prayers on the road. We laid down our mats and praying mats or a piece of cloth to offer worshipping and perform prayers. This is the case, and this is the situation. This is repeated in all and every other destroyed mosque all over Gaza. This is what has become of Gazan Muslims, praying on the ruins of their own mosques, on the streets. However, they are adamant to continue with their prayers. They are adamant to continue to and maintain observing their religious rituals. Our resolve cannot be dented, although the whole world has forsaken us. I wish we had been Ukrainians. The whole world had moved heaven and earth for the sake of Ukrainians, simply for being a people of fair complexion. Yet we, Gazans, Muslims, are abandoned, failed, forsaken by the entire world. Now humanity is at trial, but we have been forsaken. More than 1
And sir, I'd like to jump in respectfully. Ramadan, as we know, sir, is Ramadan is a time for religious reflection, normally, ordinarily. What can people in Gaza reflect on when they are, as we know, starving, displaced, not to mention in constant danger of being bombed?
This is a very good question. They are praying, offering supplications in every single prayers, raising their hands and arms to God, the Almighty, the Omnipotent, asking and praying, supplicating, asking for victory against those who have been wreaking killing, destruction, and siege. They are supplicating to God the Almighty for swift victory, and then they are praying to God Almighty to provide them with the basic necessities of life. Imagine at least potable water, clean drinking water, which is totally absent in Gaza. Flour and bread is totally absent in Gaza, namely in the north. They have been supplicating to God Almighty to provide them with patience, fortitude, support. They are also praying for the border crossings to be opened and this war to come to an end, delivery aid be delivered normally without condition. This is the month of virtues, of goodness. However, we are left without the basic necessities of life, receiving month with hunger, thirst, yet with fortitude and patience, simply because we have firm conviction in God and firm faith in Allah.
Nader Abu Sharekh, an Imam in Rafah in southern Gaza, thank you very much for joining us on the program this hour.